So obviously this week we are back in Singapore for the first time in a while, or what it feels like a while. How long has it been? It's been ages. Or did we go there last year?
Sergio
won last year. Yeah, but obviously then there was a break with COVID. I completely forgot. But I am wearing very appropriate socks today. I think I'll show you. Hold on, one second. There you go.
Gosh.
So I got these in my drive crate. They say Singapore on them. God, I have no hair on my legs, do I? Welcome to the 107 podcast. This week, we will be previewing.
I feel we're going to get flagged.
Oh yeah,
inappropriate
content. Yes, but yeah. So, yes, this week we're in Singapore.
We are. I love this race.
Yes, hopefully a great race. I read a statistic that over there is a 100% chance of a safety car based on previous races. And sense. Also that of the 13 times the race has been run, there have been 22 safety cars.
Wow. So
there you go.
2 safety cars a race.
Almost on average. Yeah. So
no, I like it. It was a first night race and it still has that special feeling, even though we do have a couple more night races.
Yeah.
It's just something about seeing those cars under the lights. You know, it's probably the closest you'll get to seeing what they look like in real life, because the colors just don't pop as much on TV, and it's a super hard, super technical track as well. So yeah, it really gets the best out of the drivers.
It's the most demanding track of the year physically, as far as I'm aware. I should have asked Kevin. Should have done that.
Your bestie.
Yeah, my new bestie. I say new. But so before we get into that. Actually, also, their Instagram handle is at F1 Night Race, which is just incredibly cool. But yeah, so before we get into that, we have stumbled upon arguably the best book ever written, haven't we?
Oh, yeah, definitely. In the history of mankind.
Honestly, this thing, screw the Bible. This thing is
Harry Potter
better.
Or Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, JK who? No idea.
Or Game of Thrones. Anything like that.
We need to talk about this book.
What's like the Oscars equivalent of a book? Is it the Turner Prize or something like that?
I don't know.
Whatever it is, it's gonna.
It has to win.
Sweep it. Yeah.
But so we are talking. If you don't know, we are talking about a book by Anita Driver, who's written a couple of other books about Formula One and racing and stuff. Brilliant. That might not be a real name. I have no idea. But
that's a real
she
name.
has written a book, and purely based on the title, it deserves all of these awards. It is called Overtake My Heart, Thicc Rick Races for Love. And it is book number 1 of 69, obviously, the Daniel Ricciardo romance series. And essentially what she's done is she's written like a 50 Shades of Grey type erotic novel about Daniel Ricciardo. It's insane. It is
with
hilarious.
Full of F1 innuendos.
Yes. So, for example, one of the innuendos is she could feel that he was harder than a Pirelli C1 tyre as he crashed into her from behind, like she was Max in Baku 2018. How do you come up with stuff like that? Or another one, she needed him the way Nikita Mazepin needed his dad's money to get an F1 seat. Like, how do you write this stuff? It's so good. Hats off to the woman. Absolutely brilliant. We will absolutely be delving into this book a little bit deeper, and we'll probably end up coming back and doing like talking about our favorite bits in it, because it is outrageous.
It is
Ash,
epic.
You've bought the book already, right? You've got the Kindle.
Straight away of it. Yes, I have the Kindle version, and I was skimming through it, and there's some raunchy stuff in there, mate. What was
the bit about how large is his thing? Do you want to cover that bit, because that was outrageous.
I have to find the page.
While you find the page, I'm going to shout out Patrick, who is a follower of ours on Instagram. He brought this to our attention. And it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. So thank you, Patrick. But God, have you found the page? Have you found the quote?
I found the page.
Please.
So the character's name is Emily. She's talking to her friend Lisa, right? So this is Emily's point of view. One thing led to another, and well, Lisa let out a squeal of delight, her grin widening. Oh my God, Emily, tell me everything. How big was his front wing, if you know what I mean? It gets better. It gets better. It gets better.
So good.
Wait, no, it gets better. Was he only good for one lap, or can he handle an entire race distance?
It's so well written. It is
There's
so
more.
well written.
There's more. Did he spray his bottle of champagne? It's fucking epic.
It's so good.
I cannot wait to read this whole thing, and we absolutely have to do an episode on it.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Anita Driver, I don't know if you'll ever hear of this.
Hats off.
But just amazing. Also, if I was an F1 driver, I would never let this go with Danny Rick.
No, never. Not even. not at all. I would bring it up at his funeral. Like this is the level.
If I'm Pierre Gasly or Nico Hülkenberg, that's my ammunition to fight back.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm just waiting for Lando to get in on the action.
Yeah. Like people should just start calling him Thicc Rick. Just that should just be his names from now on.
It's strange that it's just not taken off as much, because he did mention it in an interview, and it kind of just died down.
I don't know how. I don't know.
I think because it's just an unknown book kind of thing.
I think it's because it's outrageous.
Yeah, and I was obviously speaking with is it Paul? Was it Paul? Yeah. When he messaged us, and he was like, I was just joking. It's like a 50 Shades. Didn't actually know how accurate that comment would be when I had a look at the book.
Oh, yeah.
I've just skimmed through it, but there's mentions of Lando Norris, professional Twitch streamer. Apparently he ghosts her. I mean, I don't want to ruin the book and stuff like that. But
if
it's well worth, if you've got a Kindle, it's well worth the £2.50. And it's also like you can buy the physical version.
I'm buying the physical version,
which I am totally ordering.
I'm buying it, and I'm buying the digital version. This is
I'm going to frame
incredible.
it and put it next to the Daniel Ricciardo car.
Can we maybe even put it out there that Anita, if you're watching this, we will do the audiobook for free. We will do the audiobook for free. We'll do Daniel Ricciardo's voice. We'll do everything. We'll do it for free. Hit us up. You know where we are.
I couldn't find her or whoever it is on Instagram, but
she must be somewhere. Must be.
Yeah, we'll have to.
We'll find her. We'll find her. We'll definitely find her.
But yeah, you are a legend. Honestly, an absolute legend. And if you're not invited by Danny Rick or Red Bull or Alpha Tauri to at least the Australian GP,
oh yeah,
what's wrong with the world? What is wrong with the world?
It's. Let's be honest, F1 has been a bit slow recently, but this is probably the highlight of my season.
Oh, I was thinking, you know what? I was thinking, like, what could we do in between race weekends and the winter break? Oh my God, we've got pages of epicness here. Absolute epicness. Check out some of these lines.
Oh no.
All she could do now was wait and see where this unexpected pit stop would lead her. Oh, and there was a mention of two-time world champion Nicholas Latifi in there.
Ah, yes, perfect. Have you done the Sky quote as well? Shall I do that as well? Because that's an excerpt from the book as well. Which is also incredible. And then we will, of course, move on. So the quote is, I have to clear my throat for this because this is perfect. His neck had to be a Sky Q or Sky Glass customer, the way it pushed her red button in just the right way.
Okay, I just have to...
How do you come up with this stuff? It's so good.
It's genius. That is Sky Glass's new marketing campaign.
Honestly, it should be, yeah.
The last one, because I don't want to ruin it for anyone, and we've got loads of stuff. So Daniel's talking to Lando.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Daniel, I'm only 17 years old, Lando reminded him, and I've spent almost all of my 17 years playing video games, so I don't really have any experience with women. Oh my God.
Jesus.
Daniel's also referred to as a man with the golden neck. And that is it. Right. No more.
No more. Yes,
They will.
we'll come back soon, and we'll do a book review. That's what we should do. We should do a book review, and we should pick our
Yeah.
favorite like excerpts from the book, and we'll come back
100%.
and we'll review
100%.
it. It's already got a 5 out of 5. Like
I've given it 6 out of 5.
yeah, perfect, absolutely fair enough. Yes, so that was Thicc Rick. But yes, so this week we're obviously in Singapore.
We are in Singapore.
Max is going to win.
I mean, if there's one race where he's not going to be able to do it, it's going to be Singapore with safety cars and the nature of the track.
Yes, true.
Also, just how hard it is on the car. If cars are going to fail, it's going to happen at Singapore most likely.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's going to win it. You know, he's going to put it on pole. He's going to build up a lead, and he'll just control the race, make sure he's not stressing out the engine, making any mistakes, and yeah, it'll probably be 11 in a row.
Yeah, I think like it's ridiculous knowing that these drivers can lose as much as like 3 kilos in body weight just through like just doing this race, which is absolutely outrageous. And it's something which is a spectacle not only for like viewers but also for the drivers as well. Like it's something that they really, really enjoy being a part of outside of the almost dying from dehydration. Then they absolutely love this. I also don't know if you saw the story about Liam Lawson. Did you see that?
No.
So he said that his dad always promised that they would go to the Singapore Grand Prix. He would take him to watch the Singapore Grand Prix in Singapore, but they never got to go. But now he's driving in it, so he has invited his parents and obviously his dad to come and watch him race in the Singapore Grand Prix, which is just, it's such a lovely, wholesome moment, which is absolutely brilliant to see. But yeah, so this Grand Prix, obviously it takes part at night, which is slightly annoying because I'm doing the half marathon in Copenhagen this weekend. And so I actually will have to watch this on the train, and there is famously bad connection on the train. So I might just try my best to not watch it and then watch it when I get home. It depends how bad the connection really is. But
what time will it be?
It's still like a normal time. So I think it's 2:00 for me.
Yeah,
1:00 for you in the UK. But that's something I just wanted to bring up, is that if you are planning on watching this Grand Prix, please do double check the timings of everything. Check when qualifying is on. Check when the free practices are on if you're a free practicer. Have a look, because it's slightly different times than you might expect. That's all I'd say.
It's a couple of hours earlier usually. So I've had it before where I've mixed up times and start times and stuff. So the best thing I did was download the Formula One calendar from the F1 website or their app, and it just notifies me 30 minutes beforehand that the race is starting. So all good, no more mistakes. But I really like this track. It's technical, it's difficult. It's actually fun to drive on the game. And even though we now have a couple more night races or day to night races as well, it's just got that something special as being the first night race. And I was mentioning to you earlier, one of the things that you don't get across from the TV is just how the cars pop with the color, like the orange McLaren or back with the yellow Renault. It's a little bit difficult now because the cars are mainly matte. But seeing the cars in Singapore on the TV is probably the closest you'll get to seeing them in real life and how they really pop with color. So I love it. And I'm really looking forward to quali and the race. And there's been some epic races and some epic moments, like that famous start with Verstappen. Kimi,
mad. The famous
Seb.
tweet as well. The famous tweet. Do you remember that?
The Ferrari tweet. And then they doubled down on it.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And then obviously one of the best qualifying laps ever with Lewis. So, and then obviously we've had Crashgate there.
Yes, true. But I think the less said about Crashgate, the better. I did, however, see a meme which was Alonso just saying to Stroll, so here's what you do. You crash here, which is brilliant.
And just want to
go on.
mention quickly about car liveries. Williams have their new livery here at Singapore Grand Prix.
Yes, so Williams will be doing a fancy new livery, which was fan voted for, which is absolutely brilliant. I love it when companies do stuff like that and really get the fans involved. But it is the same livery for this weekend Japanese Grand Prix, and it might be Qatar, but I don't think so. I can't remember.
Okay.
But it's definitely the next two, which is exactly what McLaren have also done. So McLaren also have this shadow.
Well, now you have to wear sunglasses and not papaya tinted glasses because they've gone stealth mode, haven't they?
Well, there's still the papaya on it, so I
wish you just had that little bit less papaya, but part of it is obviously their brand, but secondly, Mercedes is all black as well. So
yeah, true.
I can see what they're doing.
Yeah, for sure. I do like the little bit of blue on it as well at the back near like where the exhausts are. Like there's just a teeny tiny little pop of blue, which I really like. But I think that livery is almost as good as the chrome livery for me personally. It's not quite as good, but it's up there for sure.
I quite like it. I think it's quite good. So I think it looks a lot more meaner. So
yeah, for sure.
It'll be interesting to see what it looks like under the lights.
Yeah, and the Williams livery just looks quick. It just looks quick. It's really, really nice. I think we should definitely cover the Williams livery a little bit. It looks really, really nice, but it does remove the fancy little Duracell branding at the top.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
No, Duracell's still there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Because that's one of my favorite things on the car.
That is so cool. That is so cool.
Hold on, let me double check. Williams F1. No, not internship. Jesus Christ. Williams F1 special livery. Where is it? I want to see it. Oh, it is still there. You're right. I do apologize. Okay, cool. Well, they kept that. That's great. That branding is perfect. Like, name one better like branding partnership in terms of like stuff like that looks great on a car. Name one better. You can't.
On the current cars or in
any car, you can't name one better branding decision than the Duracell battery on the top of the car. You can't.
I mean, I know we probably got used to it, but the Red Bulls with the bull over the engine cover
that's also
good.
very clever. But I think this is even cleverer. Like I love it. It's so good.
I'm just trying to think.
I can't think of anything else.
I do. I mean, the cigarette liveried cars, the Marlboro Ferrari, the Rothman Williams,
I really like. So the story about the story about Jordan and the yellow DHL car. That's also a pretty cool story as well.
They had the snake front as well, and they would use where the front wing was attached as fangs.
Yeah,
so that
stuff like that. Cool. That's also very cool. Or who was the team that did the double livery? F1 double
livery? What do you mean double livery?
Yeah, so they weren't allowed to do yes, I found it. So it was so they wanted to do one livery for one car and one livery for another, and this was BAR, right?
Okay.
And what they wanted to do is they wanted to have, like I said, one car, one color, one car, another color. And the FIA said no. So what they did was they split the livery in half. So both cars had half of the livery on.
Okay. Google this one. Red Bull 2019 livery. They had a very special testing livery with like a geometric pattern, and it looks epic.
I know. It's very, very cool. Yeah.
It's so cool. I also like their 2021, which was supposed to be the Japan, the white one. Oh,
it's
so
beautiful. Nice. It is absolutely beautiful. I think it's a shame that they don't have the Red Bull partnership anymore, because they could have done something again at the Japanese Grand Prix. You never know.
You never know. But
yeah.
I know they're locked into branding and sponsors and stuff like that, but when you see some of these cars, you're like, just a few more races, a whole season.
Yeah, I think that I don't think that there's one team now that hasn't done a special livery though, right? I think every single team has, but it should be a
I don't
rule.
think Aston have done one.
No, Aston haven't actually, but it should be a rule that they have to do a special livery once a year.
That's true.
It should be a rule. Like,
I think that it's just partners and sponsorships and stuff. Because then it'll be like, okay, what can we actually do? Because they're quite limited.
True. But Aston Martin could have done something for the 110 years celebration at Silverstone.
Could have, yeah.
Like
you know what? Their
did.
livery's good anyway. Their car is stunning.
Brilliant.
The green is beautiful.
Yeah,
so.
it's honestly, it's iconic. But yes, so going back to Singapore and not talking about liveries, so I think that it will be a track that will suit obviously Aston Martin and also arguably McLaren a lot better compared to Red Bull. I think that Red Bull obviously have the advantage for sure. But I think this is the track where, especially because of safety cars, and especially because of, issues and different bits and pieces that could arise during the race, this is definitely one of the races that could throw up a surprise. And it has been said the entire time, or like the entirety of the season, this could be the race where something crazy happens. But knowing this F1 season, nothing will happen.
Every time we've said that, nothing's happened. We're happened. Like, okay, Monaco could be the one. And it was almost the one. But even with Alonso pushing, Max still put on pole. Yeah. Even with the rain, Max still got the win.
Yeah.
If you're looking at the stats, yes, Singapore could be the race where it's most likely to happen. But if it's going to happen, I reckon it'll be happening in the most unlikely of tracks. So I think we're still going to see a Max win. But I'm going to go with Alonso and Lewis completing the podium.
I'm still hoping for it because it technically was, but it wasn't. But I'm going to be brave, and I am going to say an Alonso win.
Oh,
that's what I'm going for. I'm going for an Alonso win. I've even put it in my F1 fantasy that I do at work that Alonso's going to win. I'm going Alonso win.
Yeah.
I'm going Max second, and I'm going Piastri third because I've got my orange papaya tinted glasses on. But I think Piastri third.
Okay.
But that is semi-outrageous considering he's never driven at the track.
I mean, the way he's been performing this season and with simulator work, I would.
Who knows? Who knows?
Surprised how. But if then he puts in a good performance.
Then again, that does lean into your argument around maybe somebody like Lewis would be on the podium or at least scores a heavy amount of points because this track
Lewis always does well in Singapore. So does Fernando.
Track. Yeah.
So and Seb when he was racing, But just quickly on Seb, he did an interview with Martin Brundle, and obviously it's fuck it, we'll go a little bit clickbaity and take stuff out of context.
I know where this is going.
He hasn't closed the door to a return back to F1.
No, he has not.
He said what everyone would say. It's like you just don't know what's going to happen in the future.
No, exactly.
I don't think he will come back. I think he's happy doing his sustainability work and everything.
I think that the only chance of him coming back is if Audi ask him to come in and help set up the team as a German manufacturer, and they promise to do some work with him around sustainability and stuff like that, which Audi are already doing, to be fair to them. They're already trying to do work on sustainability. But I think that if he doesn't come back for Audi, he won't come back at all.
No. I agree.
Unless it's like one-off. It's like a one-off race where for some reason he could come back. I think he's 36.
He is 36. Yeah.
Yeah. 36.
So, I mean,
Don't
Schumacher and Fernando
test me. I know Vettel. I know my goat. What?
So yeah, he could still come back. He's got it in him.
He easily could come back. I mean, Alonso is 809, so I think he could easily come back.
Yeah, but when Alonso was off, he was still racing competitively.
True, yeah. And also he was obviously electrocuted in the McLaren, which is why he doesn't age anymore. So he still has like the ability to drive like a 25-year-old. So there's, there's that too. So allegedly.
But Yeah, no. Also, actually, something to add.
Oh,
I have decided to go to a Formula One watch party.
oh, okay.
So,
But you were at one a couple of weeks ago, weren't you?
no, I wasn't.
In Zandvoort, in Amsterdam. I thought you went to a watch party. I thought you told me you were going to a watch party.
No, no, I went to Rotterdam, which is like an hour away from Zandvoort. But we didn't. We saw it with some Dutch fans, but it wasn't
okay, sorry,
actually
right.
like a watch party.
Sure.
So in the UK we have the F1 arcade,
Yes.
and they run watch parties, but they're always super busy and packed out. And I asked them when I first went to the F1 arcade. I was like, look, would you ever do it for a race like Japan or something, which is super early in the morning? And they're like, I don't think we can for like licensing, like alcohol selling reasons.
Sure, yeah.
Got a message saying Formula One race party at Japan, which is like a 5 or 6 a.m. start. Message one of my mates. The same mates actually went to Singapore. I was like, do you want to go? He's like, yeah, let's go.
Nice. So you're going to F1 arcade for Japan?
Yes. Yeah,
nice.
Just waiting on a couple more people to confirm, but I will be going to F1 arcade at 5 a.m. in the morning.
Jesus Christ.
But I'm sure it'll be worth it. And
yeah,
if I do go,
yeah.
I'll document it all on our Instagram.
Yes, you absolutely should. Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, I love my sleep, but it's got to be. It's got to be
love
done.
Your F1.
But yes, Singapore. Do you want to talk about the track change?
Yes, let's talk about the track change. If you don't know, the track has changed. There we go. Yeah, they've removed one of the chicanes in Sector 3, which is arguably the best part of the track. Or
2 chicanes, didn't they?
2 chicanes, sorry.
Yeah.
So they've made a straight instead of like having like a dip in the track, which I think might take a little bit of the soul out of the track, but I think it will also make it potentially a little bit interesting and a little bit different.
I think it could help increase overtaking opportunities, because now they basically created another straight, where before it was like, was it there's left, right, left again, or something like that?
The opposite way around.
So right, left,
left, right.
Okay.
So it ducked under the bridge, didn't it?
Yeah, but I was thinking it does help overtaking opportunities, but if you're like Aston, you're like, that could really suit.
If you're Williams,
it
will help.
You. So yeah, because they got rid of the Singapore sling, didn't they? A few years back, which, to be honest, really wasn't a corner.
No, it was more of just like a hazard.
Yeah,
just one.
Yeah. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that improves racing. But apparently they've done it for, I don't think it was done on purpose to make the track different. I think it was done for building purposes or the surrounding
safety
area.
Reasons, don't know.
It's what I've seen. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that changes up the track. But yeah, looking forward to it. It's one of my favorite races, and regardless if Max wins or not, something is definitely going to happen in that race. There's
something,
drama.
Yeah, something has to happen, like an outrageous podium, like
an outrageous podium, maybe some crazy crashes like we had a few years back. And
do you
what's the weather saying?
Bahrain, like a couple of years ago, when only like 11 cars finished.
No, I don't remember.
It was something ridiculous like that. It was the first race after preseason testing. I think it was like the 2021 season, and it was the first race, and only like half the cars finished. It could be something outrageous like that because of the weather. If you haven't seen, it's rainstorms predicted.
So I was literally about to ask.
Rainstorms. So let me quickly double check Singapore weather. So this is on the official F1 thing. So Sunday, it says a high chance of thundery and heavy showers during the day and towards the evening. And the chance of rain is 60%.
Ooh.
So it's going to be interesting. That's for sure. Like I think that weather will definitely play a part into it.
Yeah.
And apparently, qualifying will probably be dry. But it seems like it will probably dry out for the race in the evening. But obviously, we all know that weather forecasts can change.
Yeah.
So who knows? But the humidity will be at 63%,
Okay. Okay.
which is quite humid.
Well, anything else to just mix it up? Look, I know there's a whole meme, and it would be nice to see a different team winning, not even a different driver, just a different team. But you got to give it to Red Bull if they do win every race this season.
Oh yeah, you have to.
You have to.
It's not necessarily Singapore GP related, but
No.
I would like to discuss some of the comments made by Toto Wolff recently.
Are you talking about the Wikipedia comments?
The Wikipedia comments, and a couple of others that I can't remember off the top of my head.
I know there was also some comments about Lewis, about his teammates compared to, which should just be like just stopped, but it's just going back and forth now.
Yeah, so I think it's very clever from Toto, because what he's doing is he is grabbing headlines and he's taking away and potentially taking away flack from his drivers. So I actually appreciate that. He's potentially protecting the mental health impact that it could take on, media hounding drivers for not doing very well, or hounding the team for not building a particularly particularly great car. He is actually creating headlines that take away from that flack. So I kind of respect it in a way. Because even if it just stops one negative story from getting to one person who works in fabrication in Brackley, then it helps. So I think fair play to him. But also at the same time, please stop whining. Please. Because nobody was whining like this. Like when you were this dominant. Like nobody else was whining like that. And also...
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, sure.
So a lot of people compare the dominance, but was Lewis and Mercedes that dominant as Max and Red Bull were?
So apparently the average time that Mercedes were winning by over the seasons was longer, meaning that they won by more of a distance than Max has won any races this year. So the gap between first and second for Hamilton's seasons was bigger than the gap between first and second for this season and Max and Sergio.
If you look at it, the car was dominant, but 2014 Max versus Lewis, 2015 was more edge towards Lewis. Max versus Lewis, Nico versus Lewis.
Yes,
2015 was more edge towards Lewis, and then Nico went on that run at the end. 2016 Nico wins. And you got 2017, 18, 19. Seb was thereabouts for a little bit. 2020, Lewis pretty much just... he didn't win the first race. He just smashed it out of the park. And then 2021 was Max winning. So I think the domination's a little bit different, mainly because Nico put up a bit of a fight for the first 3 seasons.
True.
And then at least Ferrari did for a little bit here and there. So definitely Max and Red Bull are way more dominant. But they're doing the best job. Hats off to them.
I think that especially because we know that the regulations are going to change in 2026 as well. So the domination would be 2022 realistically, because let's be honest, that Mercedes probably had the better car during 2021, arguably. Especially during the end of the season. Jesus Christ, that thing was a rocket, especially in Brazil. My God. Anyway, so I would argue that the domination could realistically go from 22 to 26. So 22, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I would even say the second half of 22, because they were fighting Ferrari up until about Austria.
Yeah, true. Actually, sorry, I included 2026. So it would be 25, 24, 23, and half of 22. So even then, it's only 3.5 years potentially of domination. I just think it was a different beast, because you knew as well that Mercedes were turning down their engines. as far as we know, Red Bull haven't done that. So this is what I'm saying. Please stop whining about it, because I don't need to salt my pasta water at the moment with how much salt is coming out of his mouth. It is insane. Please calm down. But also at the same time, thank you for defending your team and your drivers and trying to take a little bit of flack away from it. But also at the same time, I can't really feel sorry for you, billionaire. So there's that as well. That's my other point as well. It's quite tough to feel bad for billionaires, to be completely honest. But there we go.
I reckon behind the scenes, I reckon they like hold their hands up.
Normal bloke.
You know what?
Yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Fair play. Well done. Obviously in front, it's just like, okay, let's deflect, like you said, away from the drivers, away from the team.
Yeah.
As a leader, just the buck stops with me. Just write your headlines about me, and we'll just continue to work hard for next season and see what happens then.
Do you know what? Given the last like few months, I guess, of like doing a lot more research into Formula One, obviously for this podcast and stuff like that, I reckon that's the sort of man that Fred is. Fred Vasseur. You know, I feel like he's like a proper normal bloke. Do you know what I mean? He's not like the one, like, especially in those driver meetings, those team principal meetings and stuff like that. We all know, like, if you've got a problem with your car, change your fucking car. We all know about those incidents and stuff like that. And I imagine that Fred is literally just like, just crack on with it, lads. Just please.
Fred's just no nonsense.
No,
right?
yeah,
I don't
that's
think he's
what
not
I
here
like,
to play media games. He's not here to market himself, kind of thing. You know, he's just like, we're going to just go racing and be the
super
best
passionate about the sport, just wants to get the job done, wants to win, wants to be successful. And I think that, I think if you compare him to Gunther as well, I think Gunther's just a bit more show business. That's the main difference, I imagine.
Yeah.
And also he has a bit more money. Come on, Gene. Well, actually, that's something. Do you want to very quickly touch on that? Because apparently Haas are going to bring their B-Spec car to Austin.
Yeah, we talked about it in the last podcast.
Yes. I couldn't remember whether or not we talked about it, actually. And then as soon as you said that, I was like, oh, damn it. Yeah, we did talk about that.
Fucking Gene, we bring the fucking B-Spec car. Fucking get some fucking points here.
I did like there was a video of him doing an interview and he closed the door and it was like, did not fuck smash door. But yeah, I don't think we have anything else to talk about Singapore. We could definitely talk about Thicc a bit more. But for now, I think we should leave both of them and we should probably wrap up because I don't really think there's too much else to cover.
No, it's race week. It's Singapore. And it could be a high chance for a different person on the top of the podium.
Let's hope
but
so.
Expect us next week to be talking about how Max
did
dominated.
it again. Yeah. Fingers crossed, everyone.
Well, you know what? It's the hope that keeps you going. You know, it's the hopium.
Yeah, pretty much. I think I saw a quote which was like, yes, I know 99% chance that Max is going to win, but it's that 1% chance that he won't win that keeps me watching Formula One. And that's what I love about this sport. And I was like, that is a very poetic way to describe the current climate for sure. But yeah, let's wrap it up here. Let's call it a day for now.
Yeah, I reckon Max has his comments. He's like, well, I'm going to win just to fuck you in particular. It's like, fuck you.
Why not? Yeah, exactly.
But thank you all very much for listening. If you haven't already, give us a follow on our socials, subscribe to wherever you listen to the podcast.
Leave us a rating.
It does actually mean a lot. It's really nice to see that little number go up by 1 or 2. And it's free.
It is free, yes.
Yeah, and it gets us happier than Emily and Daniel Ricciardo.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh God. I think especially the followers as well. We're so close to 800 followers. So if you're listening to this right now and you're already following us, thanks. Create duplicate accounts and do the same thing. But also just we're so close. So if you haven't followed us already, we are very, very close to 800 followers. Come and have a follow. Why not?
Come and have a gander at some of the memes that we create.
Oh God, some of them are pretty bad. Some of them are amazing, but some of them are bad.
Do you know what it is? The ones that I don't think are funny do well, and the ones that really mean a lot to me
they do awful.
That well.
Yeah, it's really.
But I still look at it
destroying.
and it makes me smile. I'm like, I don't care if it's got 2 likes. I like it.
I'm proud of this.
Yeah,
good for you. But yeah, all right, we will leave it there.
Cool.
Let's
speak to you next week.
Yep, speak to you guys next week. Enjoy the race.